lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
The penultimate round of the Endurance for Amateur Series comes to you live from Germany here this week. With the GT3 Championship already sewn up with Michael McCoy taking the championship last week at Daytona, we now set our sights on who is going to claim the championship honours in the GT3 scene. Now, the scene is set. We've got lots of drivers in the running for it. Terry Calgar Jr. picking up his first win last week. Can he continue that Rich Frainer form this time around and pick up another win and get on his way to the championship? We're going to look at the point standings. I don't have it on the screen right now, but it is getting just, well, it's starting to break apart a little bit in the GTE Championship, with Terry Calgar Jr. now enjoying a 12-point lead over Paul Skip. Dennis Diaz had was beaten for the first time on track by Terry Calgar Jr. Dennis Diaz in third place, 14 points behind. Brad McCombs is in P4. We've Tony Watson in P5. He missed Daytona last week. Good to have him back for this one. Tyler Langenberg also missed last week, and Ryan Tyler, I don't think he's here again this week, so he will be missing again tonight. He's down in P7 in the championship. We've got Mark Dillon Jr., Jesse Brannon, Oleg Vorotniak is back this week. Robert Garcia, Safe Ferries has moved back to GTE. Christopher Craig, I don't think he's going to be here tonight. He said he was stuck in traffic. And you got Jason Butler, Chris Samar, Ronnie Osmer, Eric Lambert, who's here tonight. Joe McGonty is back tonight. Cody Atkins is back in GT3. Lewis Cologne, who's back here this time, and Chris Walker running out your field of GTE competitors. In GT3, like I mentioned, the championship has been sewn up with one round remaining. Michael McCoy is your now new champion after picking up 6 wins on the bounce, and that means he can happily take tonight off and still be the champion. Rex Hoyle is in second place, Paul Boyle in third, Zachary Nurburgring in fourth, and you got Keith Roycroft, Daniel Barnett, Matthew Lemoncelli, who's not been seen since Road Atlanta. Then you got Safe Ferries, Marcus Osborne, Chris Lawson, Timothy Emanuele, Dave Ferrara, Dallas Sullivan, who had a great run last week. We'll be keeping an eye on him. I don't think he's actually here tonight, so interesting one. So I don't think we will see him. I don't think we will look forward to seeing him here tonight. But anyway, let's get down to the track, as qualifying is just underway right now, and we have a very healthy field out on track for tonight's race. As we bring you up the timer right now, and we're going to go down to the track and see who is down there, as we are looking at Cody Atkins there in the BMW, just making his way out of pit road. There's Keith Roycroft in the other BMW. Very interesting paint scheme on that car this week. And the very interesting cars inspired Porsches. Brad McCombs there. He'll be looking for a good result tonight. He's ditched the Corvette this week in favour of that Porsche, as we go to Daniel Barnett now out on track, and the man that was fastest in practice, Dennis Diaz, also out on track as he goes through the left-hander and then into the sweeping right-hander. And we're going to go on board with the man that's won the most races this season, as we go for a lap around the Nurburgring circuit. And we will see how that lap turns out. So here we go. We're going to go on board with Dennis Diaz. He comes out of the final turn now on this long run down towards turn 1. Now you've got to try and pick your line going down there, as it's always very hectic going into this corner, especially on that one. Pick your braking point, and it's very tight, this first right-hander. You've got to go very deep into it, have a wide exit. Doesn't take such a wide exit this time around. Then set yourself up for the left-hander. This long left-hander gonna spit you out onto the curb on the outside, and another left-hander, slightly tighter than the first one. Down in first gear, staying, well, going to second gear for the second one, set you up down on the run down to one of the Schumacher S. The left-hander, then the right-hander. And then the run down to the hairpin, one of the famous landmarks on the track. Remember in 2003, I think it was Schumacher that had a spin down there, had to be pushed back on track because of the rain. Oh, this is the Schumacher S, that was the Senna S last time, so here we are. Up for the Schumacher S and up the hill. As we come into the second half of this track now, another big left-hander. And then a big right-hander, which will set you up for this long run down towards the final chicane as they go. Pick up speed. Sweep your right-hander now. Go full pelt through there. And now you've got a choice of, well, there's two chicanes here. They're not using the GP chicane, they're actually using the endurance chicane. As you can see, that a lot more stretched out and a lot easier to get through with speed as you go through the final corner once again. And on the exit of the final corner, take a wide line and give yourself a nice run down towards the start finish line. This will give you your lap. And Dennis Diaz puts in a 150.025 to start things off here at Nurburgring. Paul Skip in second place. Marcus Osborne has just gone to the top of the table in GT3. Brad McCombs just popping the time in there in GTE. Tony Watson, Paul Boyle. John Morganti is back out with us after missing Daytona last week. Good to see that Herbie-inspired Porsche back out there and running things as he should. Seems to be doing okay so far as Morganti, as Langenberg puts to the top. Boyle going to the top of the board in GT3. Times are going to come in thick and fast here. They do have 2 laps around here to get it done. Morganti going to go through the chicane. Has been very fast going through here lately. Oh, a bit of a deep line going through there. Very wide on the exit. That's going to cost him his lap. But thankfully he's got another one to try again. Maybe not so aggressive through there, Mr. Morganti, as we go to one of the most outlandish cars we've got in the field right now. That is Roger Shank. He's just coming out the final turn right now, and let's see what he can put down. And Shank will put himself into... Well, that was an outlap for Paul Shank. So, oh no, it wasn't. It was P. Roger Shank, he will not set a time. And now I believe that was an outlap. So, unfortunately, there. Mark Dillon Jr. is putting the time in, but only good enough for P10. And behind Boyle and Osborne. And that's why, because Mark Dillon Jr. is in GT3. So, I've got to change that. So, bear with me for 1 second. So as we're looking at Mark Dillon make his way around the track. Good to see him in a different class this time, just giving it a try. As it should come up now. There you go, Dillon, and now in P5 in GT3, so there you go. We have 12 in GTE, we have 14 in GT3. So lots of cars for us to enjoy here tonight as we go back to John Morganti here, just coming through the final turn there. Looks like he got it a lot more hooked up this time around. He comes out the final turn and the run down towards turn 1. And Morganti goes into P8 there. A very representative time there for the man in the 53. As we go to last week's star driver, Luis Colon. As he makes his way through the right-hander here. Through the hairpin and up through the Schumacher as he goes. Cologne looking for a good one here, just like he did at Daytona last week. Tyler Vickery out on track as well. We'll go to him in just a second. As Cologne makes his way down towards the hairpin, the chicane, sorry. Very nice and neat through there. That's what you like to see in a qualifying run. You've got to keep it clean, got to keep it on the track if you want to get your lap time in. As Cologne comes out the final turn now, down towards the start-finish line. What time will this be? As he crosses the line. And Cologne will not set a time. That would be... Again, is out lap. Bryce Anderson in GTE for the first time this season. Good to see him back in this category. He did warn us that he was going to be back in this category this for this round, possibly for the remainder of the season. He's currently sitting P5 in GTE right now, as we're going to go to Tyler Vickery, who's in the Lamborghini once again this week. Setting the green first sector right now, currently sitting P11 in GT3. We'll be looking to have a much better time this time around. Don't forget, on the other side of the channel, we do have IndyCar racing for you with Frank and Tony in the booth. They are at Las Vegas with Sim Racers Edge. The fifth round continuing on there after taking a week off, and obviously last time out Ronnie Osborne winning at Watkins Glen. We'll be looking to do the same here again here tonight, and VSM Racing looking for their third 1-2 in a row. Going to be very interested to see how they handle that one, but for now VSM Racing are in this league as well, and this is one of their drivers, Tyler Vickery, just finishing his lap right here, going through the final chicane. And runs out of time, unfortunately. So he will get stuck in P11, and the grid will look as follows. Starting up at the pole for GTE will be Dennis Diaz. He'll be very happy with that one, getting his pole here tonight. Joining him on the front row will be Tony Watson in the Brumos Porsche. He will be very happy with that one. Brad McCombs and Terry Calgar Jr. make up row number 2, with Bryce Anderson and Paul Skip making up row number 3. Safe Ferries and Joe Morganti making up row number 4, with Tyler Langenberg and Eric Lambert making up row number 5. Row number 6 in GTE will be Lewis Cologne and Oleg Vorotniak. In GT3, starting on the pole will be Paul Boyle and Marcus Osborne. Sean Adkins and Keith Roycroft make up row 2. Mackenzie Johnson and Mark Dillon Jr. make up row 3, with Roger Shank and Rex Hoyle making up row 4. Row 5 will be Zachary Nurburgring and Dave Ferrara, with Tyler Vickery and Cody Atkins with the all-to-do back in row 6, and bringing up the rear of the field in this one is Daniel Barnett and Atticus Middleton. So 90 minutes to scheduled distance here tonight at the Nurburgring. We have Dennis Diaz on the pole for this one, with Tony Watson to his elbow. We'll be looking forward to seeing who is on point for this one here tonight. As the GT field gets rolling right now. And it's a short pacing run towards the green flag right now. As I do apologise for that lights thing up on there. I will get it changed right about now. anyway. That doesn't really matter anyway. We're going to go out the final turn. The green flag is in the air. We are racing here at the Nurburgring for the GTE classes. Dennis Diaz already getting away down towards turn 1, but it's that run down towards turn 1 that's going to be a problem for a lot of drivers. Let's take a look and see how they fare. Not too bad. We've got a bit of side-by-side action there at the beginning. I think it was Tyler Langenberg and Joe Morganti again. I think it might have actually been safe ferries, and Zachary Nurberger is in trouble already on the start-finish line. And now that's not going to be good for the man that started. I believe he was one of the guys up there, as Paul Boyle leads them out of turns 1 and 2 in towards turn 3. And Marcus Osborne keeping him honest behind, and Sean Adkins right there too. There is Keith Roycroft, and Tyler Langenberg has had a problem as well. We'll go to that in just a second. Yeah, he's definitely had a big problem, because Safe Ferries, I believe, was in it as well. Dave Ferrara's had a crash as well. We've got a lot to look up here as they come out of the final turn. Oh, there goes Nuremberger. Ferrara hit the grass and got spun around. Very, very unusual incidents to happen here. Go to GTE. What happened here? Ferries went around on the exit of the left-hander, and just in front of him, Langenberg, oh, got collected. I didn't quite see who that was. I think it was Bryce Anderson. Oh, and that was a big hit there for Langenberg. Yeah, Langenberg will not be happy about that one, as he's had to tow it to pit road. As we go back to live right now, Dennis Diaz is your leader after lap 1. Oh, Tony Watson locking him up going in towards turn 1, and Watson is around. And he didn't want that to happen on the end of lap 1. And he falls to P4 just ahead of Joe Morganti. Lewis Cologne is already up to P6 right now, as people are falling by the wayside. Brad McCombs is out as well. What's happened to Brad McCombs? Marcus Osborne has had a problem too. We've had it all kicking off in the early laps of this race. Brad McCombs, I believe, might have had an internet issue. Bryce Anderson is just coming into pit road now. Marcus Osborne has had a crash. Tony Watson's had another. No, he hasn't. We're going to take a look and see what happened to Marcus Osborne here. Take a look and see how it's on the run down towards turn 1. They just got turn 1 all wrong there, and hopefully didn't get any damage. Carried on going. He's down in P11 now, and that's left big gap between himself and the leaders. Meanwhile, at the front, Diaz is your leader, with Terry Cowger Jr. in second place. This is a good spot for Cowger to be in, because I believe if he stays where he is, he's gonna need. He doesn't need the best of finishes to win the championship next week, as he's already ahead of Paul Skip. Tony Watson already starting to catch back up though in P4, and Lewis Cologne has already dispatched Joe Morganti. He's going to be looking to the back of Tony Watson very soon, albeit 4 seconds back. Morganti in a very good P6 right now, just ahead of Eric Lambert. Oleg Vorotniak having a very quiet start so far, as he's battling with Safe Ferries, who's on the recovery drive. The two Corvettes going at it there through turn 1 in GT3. Paul Boyle just coming out of the final turn there, with Keith Roycroft in second place. Boyle enjoying a nice 2-second lead over Roycroft at the moment. And Brad McCombs saying that his computer crashed for some reason. Yeah, mine did the same yesterday. Don't really know what's going on. As oh, we've had a problem here for Mark Dillon Jr. Let's take a look back and see what happened to the Lamborghini driver. Just got it all wrong on the exit of the chicane, and almost going on to the Nordschleife there. Fortunately, he's had to jump to pit road. I'm guessing it won't be too much of an incident there, as Atticus Middleton has had an incident already. Dave Ferrara is back out on track as he is looking to get some time back. He's already one lap down after that start line incident. Nurburgring is back out on track as well. He is 23 seconds behind Atticus Middleton, as we've got a battle here between Tyler Vickery and Roger Shank, Rex Hoyle and Sean Adkins right there. We've got Cody Atkins a bit further back, just ahead of Marcus Osborne. There's Sean Adkins. Just ahead, just behind Roger Shank. Tyler Vickery already moving his way forward. He's already up to P4 after starting in what was P11. So he's already up 7 spots in his class. So, there's Tyler Vickery just starting to get away from Roger Shank now, so good run for him so far. Bryce Anderson is back in pit road again, so more problems for the GTE driver, not having the best of run so far. Dave Ferrara has already decided to, he's already put a lap on him now, so, he's already taken him for position, so, yeah, big problems there for the Porsche driver as we're looking at another Porsche driver, that's Joe Morganti, just sticking with Lewis Cologne right now, so having a decent enough run is Morganti. There is Safe Fair is now trying to make his way back up through the field. He's about 3.7 seconds off of Morganti. And he's just passed Eric Lambert as well, so Fair's on the move. That's a trio of Corvettes right there. And Dennis Diaz running the only Beamer in the GTE class right now. Whereas in GT3, we've got several Beamers. We've got Paul Boyle in the Tinder Beamer. And you've got Roycroft in that one. Sean Adkins in the Pony Express one. Marcus Osborne in our very favourite Reese's BMW. Right behind him is Cody Atkins, then Daniel Barnett. That's your run of GT3 BMWs. Only the one Mercedes in the field here tonight. That's Rex Hoyle in his AMG. Always love to see that one out on track, as we've got a whole plethora of Porsches and Lamborghinis and no Ferraris this week, as we've had an incident for Marcus Osborne. I think we had an incident for Marcus Osborne. Let's take a look at it. Going into the left-hander, yeah, we did. Just got it completely wrong. Too aggressive into the corner, and around she went. John Morganti having an incident as well. Let's take a look and see what happened to him. And through the chicane again, just got it all wrong. Too aggressive through there. You can't be that aggressive through there, otherwise it'll just spit you out, and that's exactly what happened to Morganti right there. He's fallen back to P9 in his Porsche now, so got some making up to do. There is Paul Skip in his Porsche. Currently sitting in 3rd place, and it's all getting spread out right now in this race. We're already about 9 minutes in. Daniel Barnett putting the pass on Marcus Osborne. That's because Osborne's had the problems there that he had, and now he's already trying to fight his way back around Dave Ferrara in the Liqui Moly Lamborghini. There he goes. Osborne just gets around. Obviously, that was not a passable position. Ferrara still back in 13th in class, and Osborne in P10. He's got about 2.5 seconds to make up to get to Barnett, as Paul Skip dips a couple of wheels onto the grass, and Not too much problems though. He just loses a bit of time to Calga though, so we've got to make all that back up again. GTE field is very spread out, albeit apart from the battle between Oleg Vorotniak and Eric Lambert, who's just lost out to him right there. The 10 minutes in now, we are going very nicely for this. Another hour and 20 minutes to go. Tyler Vickery is still on his merry way, and he's got about 3.5 seconds to make up to get to the back of Keith Roycroft. Can he do it? A long way to go. A lot of pit stops to come, so we'll be keeping an eye on that one as Cologne has had an off track. He's able to keep it going though, no problems for him in that 195. As we'll go back to Vickery, not doing too badly at all so far. Keith Roycroft still sitting in P3. Now I think he's just been passed by Mackenzie Johnson. I can't really say that for sure because I don't really know. As already Atticus Middleton has been passed by Zachary Nurburgring, as there is the tender BMW of Paul Boyle enjoying a 2.5 second lead over Mackenzie Johnson. You see Johnson in the background there, trying to close him down in that Reese's Lamborghini. I see the Reese's trend is still continuing, especially in the GT3 field, as we're looking at a battle right now between Roger Shank and Sean Adkins. Adkins looking to try and get around that Porsche to run up to the chicane. Out of the chicane down towards the final turn. Does Adkins have a run here? He does not. He's close enough, but has the wrong line as they come out of the final turn. Bit of a wider line there for Adkins as they make the run down towards turn 1. And let's see how this one pans out for the pair of them. As Shank covers the inside line, and that's what you need to do going into turn 1 right there. Just cover that inside line, make sure he didn't get the pass on you. But problem is, almost gave the inside line to Sean Adkins right there. As this battle's still raging on between the two. And a left-hander down towards, and the left-hander, a little bit of a straight there into the right-hander, and Shank able to stay ahead, but for now Sean Atkins going to gear himself up for another attack here, as we've got a battle also between Cody Atkins and Marcus Osborne. Osborne going to have the inside line here into the left-hander, almost contact, but Osborne going to get the job done on Cody Atkins. Great move there by the Reese's number 7 to make his way back up another position here after his couple of spins. Remember, this man started in 2nd place. He'll be looking to get back up there as quickly as possible. Already lost a lot of time as there goes Cody Atkins around. And that will cost him time and possibly cost him a position, because here comes Daniel Barnett now. Try and get the position away from Cody Atkins. And no, Barnett gets it all wrong going through the Schumacher S. And it just peters out from there as we go back to the battle between Roger Shank and Sean Atkins. Great battling going on here. We have a battle brewing in GTE as well. You can see it on the top of the timing tower. We'll go to that in just a second. But here is Sean Atkins starting to lose ground now on Roger Shank. So probably not a battle anymore. So we are going to go to that battle between Calga and Skip, as you see it right there. There is Calga, there is Skip. Not too far behind is Tony Watson. So we will keep an eye on that one, as Watson puts a big move on Nurburgring right there to put him another lap down. We'll put him a lap down. That's the first time he's been lapped all night. As we go back to Calga right now, just trying to hold off Paul Skip. Skip has now fallen to about 1.4 seconds off the back of Calga. And Diaz already is still setting very qualifying-esque lap times. 150.967 that time around. Not as fast as the night. His fastest time of the night so far is a 150.15. So not representative so far, but still setting fast times regardless. We are 15 minutes into this race right now, and it is Diaz in the lead, Cowgate in second place, Paul Skip in third in GTE. Then you got Tony Watson, Luis Rivera Colon in P5, Say Ferries in P6. There's Olive Brotniak, Eric Lambert, and Joe Morganti is still there in P9. And the GTEs have just fallen by the wayside so far. We've had 3 retirements in GTE so far. Tyler Langenberg, Brad McCombs, and Bryce Anderson. Langenberg and Anderson getting into incidents on the first lap. Brad McCombs, unfortunately, losing his computer at the start there. So unfortunate of him. And Mark Dillon Jr., the only prospective retiree from GT3 so far. So a few incidents so far, as we're still looking. Joe Morganti there, just circulating his way around track, just going to put a lap on Atticus Middleton right there. So there you go. As Paul Boyle's had an incident here, had a bit of an arse track going through the left hand. Let's take a look and see what happened here. It was just on the AstroTurf on the exit of the corner, on the outside of the corner, just extending the corner, as we've had an incident for Luis Colon. Possibly. I'm seeing smoke in the background, so we're going to take a look and see what happened here. And yep, a spin there for Cologne. That's Let's Say Ferries ahead of him. And just got to be a bit less aggressive going into the corners, as Cologne just coming through the final turn now. Does have Oleg Vorotniak right behind him. And you got to think, has Cologne black spotted those tyres? Because it did burn a lot of rubber going around right there. Might have a few problems here as Vorotniak out of nowhere just puts the big yeet on him right there into turn 1. Doesn't quite pay off though. And he has to fall back behind Cologne. That was very interesting. We're just going to take another look and see that happen. Big yeet right there. Was contact between Cologne and Vorotniak. Could have been a lot worse though. And Vorotniak makes it around and has to fall back in line and try and do it in the more conventional way, Oleg. As they go into the hairpin, right behind him is Eric Lambert right now, as we got a problem for Daniel Barnett. There was a battle. Actually, Barnett actually going to pit road, so interesting there. Let's see if he had an off track on the run up to his entry into pit road. Oh, most definitely did. And he's just going to instantly take it to pit road just to take advantage of that. So Daniel Barnett in pit road right now to be the first one to, well, I wouldn't say it's a scheduled pit stop because he kind of had no choice but to go down to pit road, but he's in pit road regardless. As we look at Dennis Diaz right now, currently in the lead by 7.3 seconds. And you've got a battle still kind of brewing, but not really brewing, between Terry Calgar Jr. and Paul Skip right now. This is a battle between first and second in the championship, by the way, and definitely worth paying attention to. As Calgar coming off the back of his win last week at Daytona. As, oh, Morganti's had a big crash here. What's happened to him here? I'm going to assume it's through the chicane again. A bit too much grass through there. Didn't hit anything, but still went around regardless. Barnett had a crash on the exit of pit road. I wonder if that was just because they slowed down towards turn 1. and possibly my time in the scoring is playing games with me. I stopped to let the field by. Very good driving. Very good heads-up driving there by Barnett. So we're back to the track right now as Keith Roycroft has been passed by Tyler Vickery now. So Vickery up to 3rd place. Let's take a look at that pass as it happened. It looks like Roycroft might have had a slowdown here, because Vickery just sailed on by. Up to 3rd place now is Vickery. Very good pass for himself right there as he now goes off in search of Mackenzie Johnson, who's 8.4 seconds up the road. So going to be a bit of a mission there for the 324 as he comes out of the right-hander and down towards the hairpin. The Vickery up to 3rd place there in GT3. Enjoying things in this race so far after the disasters that were Imola and Daytona. Hopefully going to be having a better run this time around. There's Tony Watson right now. And Tony, if I had a bit of advice for your paint right there, use it, like put it on custom numbers instead of normal thing, because yeah. It has all the stickers that I took off it. Anyway, Watson in P4. He's fallen to about 2.6 seconds behind Paul Skip and Terry Cowger Jr. This is pretty much your only battle out on track right now. There is Paul Skip, Terry Cowger Jr. They've just got around Dave Ferrara and put him a lap down. As we do still have 22 cars running, but do we? Because Adkins Middleton has had another off. Paul Skip has just had an off track, but that's about it. Let's see what happened to Middleton right here. And around she goes. The Rothmans Porsche not having fun out there tonight at all. He's just had another off there. Paul Skip is in pit road, so did something happen to Skip? Coming through the... Oh, big off there for Paul Skip and into the wall. Now, will that hand Terry Cowger Jr. the championship here tonight? Because that was a big incident there for Paul Skip. That's going to put him back a little bit. Having to take his pit stop early. And we know this is an unscheduled pit stop because that will have knocked his suspension sideways. So Skip in pit road. He's fallen to the last place of the cars that are still running in GTE. Terry Cowger Jr. though won't mind too much at all, as he's now comfortably in 2nd place, about 3 seconds ahead of Tony Watson. A whole 19 seconds ahead of Safe Ferries, so definitely a comfortable position to be in. As, we're going to go back to what happened to Atticus Middleton here. Let's just take a look and see what happened. I'm guessing they tried to get it going again and just went round again. Yeah, just not having fun there tonight is the driver of the 107. As Paul Skip is back out of pit road once again, he rejoins P9. But behind 4 of the GT3 cars, so got a little bit of making up to do. Mackenzie Johnson in trouble. What's happened to Mackenzie Johnson? We're just in a flash of red come up on my screen, and I wonder if Johnson's starting to get a bit of pressure now after realizing that Vickery might be a bit faster. That was a very unusual spin. Didn't really hit any grass. Car just snapped around on him. And oh look, he's got a passenger as well. Took a cone with him. Oh, didn't keep it for that long though. As Go back to live pictures once again. So the gap now between Vickery and Johnson now 4.3 seconds. So Vickery will be on the hunt right now. Roycroft is staying with him though, so Roycroft will be looking to capitalise from that as well. Right behind them is Paul Skip, who we all know just took that pit stop. Zachary Nurburgring had a bit of an off track as well as Atticus Middleton once again. Middleton is up and running once again. We'll take a look at Luis Rivera Colon. Making his way through the hairpin right now. Having a much cleaner run than earlier. He just had that one spin so far tonight as Paul Skip has already got around Keith Roycroft. And that was for position as Paul Boyle has on and off track again. I think he's I think he likes using that corner, that runoff area on the exit of turn 3. He's done that quite a bit tonight. Actual leader in GT3 has a 7-second lead over Mackenzie Johnson as Paul Skip now gets around Tyler Vickery. Vickery will be looking to use that draft of that Porsche to try and close that gap even more to Johnson. Did lose a bit of time after being overtaken by the JPS Porsche from GTE. As, oh, Lambert's around. Big problems with Eric Lambert. Take a look and see what happened here to the driver of the number 838 Porsche, Corvette, sorry. Got it all wrong. Now braked himself going into turn 1. Tried to hit the loud pedal while he was still in the gravel. And unfortunately spun the car around. Lambert in a whole world of trouble, and Joe Morganti has been gifted a position right there, and he'll happily take it all day long. Locks up the brakes there going through the right hand turn though. Don't want to be doing that too often. So Morganti is in P7 right now. Still keeping an eye on Paul Skip right now as Morganti goes through the gravel in the Schumacher S and he's going to go off the track. And how he did not hit anything, I have no idea. But Morganti is one very, very lucky boy. And off through the gravel. And he kept it out of the barrier. How he did that, I do not know. I'll be having words with him about that as wreck avoidance skills. As he keeps it going. Very good, very good. That's one bit of entertainment right there. As we're looking at Tony Watson right now, he's 3.2 seconds off the back of Terry Cowger Jr. right now, and Cowger has actually started closing the gap to Dennis Diaz now. The gap was about 80 seconds. The gap now down to 6.2 seconds. And Terry Cowger has picked up the pace now. As we are very steadily approaching 1 hour to go in this race. So Terry Cowger Jr. realises now the chaos is out of the way. Now it's time to put the foot down, and it's definitely doing that now. But at the same time, I believe Dennis Diaz is working his way through lap traffic as well. Or he was at the time. It's coming up on Sean Adkins right now. As Morganti's had another off here. See which barrier he's avoided this time. Oh, he didn't. Well, his incidents are falling in all the right spots. He's having a bit too many of them, but still out on track with a clean car, amazingly. As we've not really got any battles right now, so with that, we're going to take a quick break right now as I need to go and get a drink and stuff, and we'll be right back in just a couple of moments with the race for you. Do not go anywhere. We've got more action coming up for you in just a few minutes. back at Nurburgring right now, as we've just had another retirement here, and pit stops are about to get underway as well. We probably saw it during the break right there. Cody Atkins has put his car on the hauler, and he is out of this race. So we're going to go back and take a look and see exactly what happened to this driver. And he's coming down towards turn 1, and he must have had some kind of failure. He just went straight on at turn 1. And that was it for his night. He is out of this race, and unfortunate there for Cody Atkins, as we've got pit stops underway right now. Tony Watson has just been in pit road and taken his first stop of the night. And he'll be on his merry way. He's come out 5 seconds behind Oleg Vorotniak, and I'm not sure if Vorotniak's taken his pit stop yet. No, he has not. We have had the other pit stops in GT3 as well. We've got one in pit road right now. That is Atticus Middleton, who's having all kinds of problems out there tonight. But as Dennis Diaz, the race leader, is in pit road right now. So the leading the charge into pit road, Calgary Jr., going to be the next one into pit road as well, as here comes, I believe that's not Safe Ferries, that is actually Roycroft in pit road as well. So, Roycroft in pit road from what is 4th place. Actually, it was 4th place. Sean Atkins has now moved up, and Dennis Diaz is in pit road. Probably won't take tyres here. That's usually the norm, and at least out of pit road right now. There is Terry Calgary Jr. probably about to move now out of his pit stall, and there he goes. As we've had an incident for Marcus Osborne, and oh yeah, big incident for Marcus Osborne. As he's got it all wrong through turn 1. Let's take another look and see what happened here. And it was Lewis Cologne. It was Cologne trying to go and put a lap on him here. And oh, Diaz just making a Now then, that was a bit of netcode, it looks like, but very unfortunate there for Osborne, coming off the worst in that one. As we go back to live pictures now, Osborne still currently sitting in P7 in GT3, as there's Calgary Jr. just flashing the lights at him, trying to get around him. As Calgary does take the inside line and does go around, as Eric Lambert is the latest one in pit road right now in GTE. And there he goes through turn 1, very gingerly through turn 1, as right behind him that is Mackenzie Johnson. Yet to see him take it down pit road yet, when he's still trying to stay ahead of Tyler Vickery, who is still closing in that gap. Vickery got the gap down to 3.8 seconds between himself and Johnson. Sean Adkins and Roger Shank now in pit road for their pit stops in GT3. There is Adkins. Does he take a fast repair? The answer is no. He does have a bit of front end damage on his car. Roger Shank in pit road as well. He's just hiding behind Mark Dillon's car. We've got another one in pit road there. Looks like Oleg Vorotniak in pit road as well from GTE. So pit stops are happening all around. As we're seeing Vorotniak just pull his way into pit road, as Roycroft gets around Adkins and Shank while they're in pit road. And he will happily move back up into P6 in GT3. Adkins getting out ahead of Shank right there. So Adkins having a good pit stop compared to His competitor in the 950. Demon Porsche. That's what we like to call it, the Demon Porsche. As Tyler Vickery has passed Mackenzie Johnson and gone straight into pit road here. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Oh, and that's why Mackenzie Johnson got it all wrong for the chicane and went off the track. We're going to get a full replay of that one. We're going to see exactly what happened here. Just got it all wrong, got on the curb and into the grass. Right in front of him was Adkins and Middleton getting it all wrong. So actually, it wasn't Middleton. That was actually Dave Ferrara that got it all wrong for the chicane. All the drivers from GT3 coming in now. Paul Boyle in pit road. Mackenzie Johnson in as well. Boyle actually just coming out of pit road. Vickery should be on his way out right about now, and there he is. And pit road is a very busy place right now, as there is Vickery. Mackenzie Johnson just making his way out right now. There is Rex Hoyle. Marcus Osborne now bringing his way down to pit road. That is Safe Fairies just on his way out as well. As there is Louis Cologne, as Osborne just taking the easy way into his pit stall. There you go. As there goes Cologne. Rex Hoyle just on his way out of pit road as well. So as I said, pit road a very busy place right now. As there goes Cologne back out on track, rejoins in P5. With regards to the overall lead, Diaz now has the 9-second lead over Terry Calgar. Tony Watson, who had already been down pit road as well, he's in third place. Safe Ferries in P4. Louis Cologne, as I just mentioned, in P5. There's Olive Vorotniak in P6. Paul Skip in P7 after his unscheduled pit stop earlier. Eric Lambert in P8 and Joe Morganti in P9. Paul Boyle also out in a healthy lead as well in his Tinder BMW. He does have Tyler Vickery though starting to close in on him ever so slightly, but not by much. And I take that back because Vickery just lost a couple of tenths there to Boyle. But Vickery will be happy with this run so far. Second place. Goes a bit deep through the chicane right there. Takes all the curb on the exit and in towards the final turn. There's not really any battles to speak of right now. The closest battle out on track is probably Olive Vorotniak versus Paul Skip. There is Vorotniak, there is Skip just behind him. Vorotniak's got a bit of right front damage. See it right? No, it's not. It's just the way the light's shining on the car. I think it's got one of those nice little spec maps on the car, which makes it look a bit strange. So there it is. That's Sim Solutions Corvette, looking very nice. Paul Skip has closed the gap in even more. The gap is less than a second now as Vorotniak makes his way around Rex Hoyle. Skip makes his way around as well very quickly. Loses a couple of tenths though trying to get around that Mercedes, but still able to keep in touch with the Corvette now as they make their way through the left-hander. Very quick switch into the very quick, well, I wouldn't say quick right-hander, but very sudden right-hander. As Middleton in the middle of all that. Have an off track for Tyler Vickery there. Let's have a look and see what happened here. Just ran a bit wide. Never mind. Dave Ferries had a bit of an incident as well. Go back and see what happened to him. Let's into turn one again. It seems to be the problem corner here tonight. In the end, he just completely locked it up and went straight on. And around she went. Safe Ferries losing more and more time there. As I mentioned, that corner proving to be the problem corner here tonight as we go back to the battle between Paul Skip and Olive Vorotniak. Here comes Skip now trying to get a move done on the Corvette. Is he going to get it on the run up to the chicane? He's going to look for it here. Big inside dive there into the chicane. Not normally a pace where you can see passing happening, but Paul Skip gets it right there. Good move there by the JPS Porsche driver. Vorotniak just to sit and duck at that point. So Skip up to P6 now. And we'll set off in search of Louis Cologne. As, oh, Vorotniak into the wall. Big incident there for the Corvette driver. Got a wheel on the grass there, and that will be a lot of damage on his car now. We're going to take another look and see what happened here. It just been passed by Paul Skip right there. Took a very aggressive, well, didn't take a very aggressive line out of there. Just got a wheel on the grass there and into the wall very hard. And that will have affected the suspension and the driving line of that car. We'll see how it has affected him. It definitely has damage on the right front of that car now. We're seeing Zachary Nurburgring in pit road now in his Porsche. Louis Cologne had an off track just a minute ago while that was happening with Vorotniak, and I'm guessing it's the same situation as what we've seen with a lot of drivers so far tonight. Just running a bit wide at the exit of turn 3. Not having a bad race tonight is Cologne, as there is Morganti, just been lapped I believe by Terry Cowger Jr. So Morganti now a lap down from the points leader. As Morganti runs wide coming through the hairpin. Not through the hairpin, for the right-hander. Leading down towards the hairpin, which is where Carragher is going through now. And Morganti needs to be careful here because that's Paul Boyle starting to catch him right there in the GT3 car. As we're still focusing on the driving action going out on track right now. Not really any battle to speak of at the moment. Closest battle you could kind of say is between Roger Shank and Rex Hoyle, but that gap is 2.8 seconds now. Everybody is very stretched out right now. As Mackenzie Johnson has had another problem here. Take a look and see what happened to him. And it's into the hairpin. Oh, just snap left on him. Another strange incident there for Mackenzie. Probably felt the car slide into the right and then tried to counter steer it and just went left instead. So Mackenzie Johnson dropping down to P5 now after that one. He did get passed by Sean Adkins. As Morganti's had another off. Take a look and see what's happened to him. And not normally in a place you'd expect it to be. That's through turn 3 right there. We've not seen any cars go off through there until now. Backs it off the racing line. Very good heads-up driving there by Morganti. And make sure that he pays attention to his relative before it gets going once again. So good heads-up driving by Morganti as we go back to Tyler Vickery. The gap now down to 9.2 seconds between Boyle and Vickery. Vickery starting to slowly into the lead of Paul Boyle. Does run a bit wide there out of the right-hander. That's Safe Ferries right in front of him, who's still recovering from that spin he had through turn 1 a couple of laps ago. He's almost 24 seconds behind Tony Watson. but at the same time he's 12 seconds ahead of Louis Cologne, so still very comfortable in that Corvette. Looking good for a good top 5 here in this one, as we are past the halfway point now in this race. We're actually more than past the halfway point. We're about 6 minutes past the halfway point. Still focused on safe areas right now. And Vickery has got that gap between himself and Paul Boyle down to, we did get it down to 8.8, but it's gone back to 9.1, so it's bouncing up and down as the corners go on, because they're obviously going through separate corners right now, so it obviously provides different sector times as Vickery makes his way through the final turn. Ferries into pit road though. Interesting strategy here by Safe Ferries. There he is into his pit stall. So Ferries is in pit road for another stop here. There's Luis Rivera Colon as Paul Skip now moves up to P5. Now back in the top 5 for the first time since his spin, and instantly taking it down pit road early. Sean Adkins has just had an incident and has got it going once again, although that car not looking very happy right now. Let's see what happened to him. It's on the run down towards turn 1, and again another car just not... yeah, it wasn't too bad actually in the end. I thought he might have had a spin or something. Morganti's actually towed to pit road. Let's see what's happened to him. And oh, he's just gone straight on into the wall. Big crash there by Morganti. And you're going to think his night might be done now. That is a big hit into the wall. We'll go back to Sean Atkins, is back up to speed once again. Oleg Vorotniak has just been down pit road as well. So pit stops happening already. We've got more pit stops coming now as Vorotniak about to be lapped by Dennis Diaz as I speak. And Diaz enjoying a 12, maybe just about 12-second lead over Terry Calgar Jr. now, as Diaz looking around the outside of Vorotniak. Vorotniak just looking for a good spot to let him by, and he does. Down towards the hairpin right now. And Diaz, actually the gap coming down slightly there. Calgar got it down to 11.7. So Calgar trying to close that gap as best as he can. One saving grace he does have though is that his main championship rival, Paul Skip, is 3 spots behind him. So Skip having to play catch up after that spin he had earlier on, and having to make that early pit stop, as Morganti's still in pit road getting that tow done. Mackenzie Johnson is starting to close the gap on Sean Atkins now, and it was a lot bigger. Obviously come down quite a considerable amount since Atkins had that... Well, he didn't spin, he just went straight on at the turn 1 corner, turn 1 hairpin. As there is Johnson, as Morganti's still in pit road. They Ferrara right there is 1 lap down in the GT3 field, so he's had a really tough night, and it started off well before the just as the green flag drop for Ferrara. Hit the grass and just went straight into the wall, as did Zachary Nurburgring, who's a lap ahead of him. So problems for a lot of drivers already here tonight, as Joe Morganti Still trying to fix that car as we look at Roger Shank right now. He's been chased down by Rex Hoyle, who's got that gap down to less than 2 seconds now. So Hoyle is closing in as we've had a problem for Tyler Vickery. He's still going though. And it's going to be a turn 1 incident, I'm pretty sure. Oh, too much grass there through turn 3. Or turn 2, sorry. So Vickery losing a bit of time there. Not just to Paul Boyle, but to Keith Roycroft now. The gap between Boyle and Vickery now 20 seconds. As we've got pit stops happening once again. Terry Cowger Jr. back in pit road for his final pit stop of the night. Let's see if he takes tyres. I don't think he will. As we've had Sean Adkins in pit road as well. He's been passed by Marcus Osborne. And Rex Hoyle and Roger Shank and Mackenzie Johnson. So Sean Adkins, big troubles for the BMW driver there. As there is Cowger in pit road. Already been passed by Watson, of course, because Watson wasn't too far behind him. There's no tyres for Cowger on this pit stop, so he will be out and down and out, and ready to finish this race as things stand right now. Sean Atkins has had another incident here. And what's happened to Adkins? Just lost the back end of the car. Came back on track. Just stopped it on track there. Just got it going. No damage on the car, so that's alright. Although we've had another incident happen here, though. And what's happened here? We'll keep our eyes on this one. Say Ferris is had an off track as well. We'll go to that one in just a second. So he gets back going once again. And I'm assuming Atticus Middleton wants to get around him. And he does. And, oh, meeting of the minds right there. And we're going to go to another camera and see exactly what caused this one. And Atkins took a very wide line. Atticus Middleton did not, and almost collected, I believe that was, oh, Cowger and Nurburgring got a piece of that one as well. That was a big mess there through that corner. A massive mess. And Cowger will not be happy with that one. He's just come out of pit road as well. Lost a ton of time there to Watson. As that was the incident between Adkins and Atticus Middleton. Let's go back to Cowger. The gap between Cowger and Watson is about 29 seconds, but crucially Watson still has to make his pit stop. The only problem is with that incident with Middleton and Adkins, how much time did Cowger lose because of that? We'll find out in just a second. Marcus Osborne has just been down pit road as well. And Joe Morganti has put it on the hauler. He's out of the race now. So Osborne rejoins back in P9. He's just behind Cowger Jr. No, that's Paul Skip, actually. I apologise. As Lambert is the next one to bring it down pit road. Lambert, interestingly, was behind Safe Ferries before that pit stop happened. So, interesting there. Dennis Diaz, the race leader, is in pit road, though. Got to be expecting Tony Watson to bring it in. He does not. So, Watson does want a lap led here tonight. And he will get it. So Watson takes the lead. Question is, how long is he going to go for before he brings it into pit road in that Brumos Porsche? through turn 3 there into turn 4. Big run out of turn 4. Turn 4 for Tony Watson. Down towards turn 5 now. Big sweeping left-hander into a bit of a tighter right-hander in turn 6. And now the run down to the hairpin. So interesting strategies going on here tonight. Not much in the way of battles, although we do still have this one brewing between Shank and Hoyle. Hoyle currently the man in second place in GT3. And this is why he's been very consistent this season, and consistency has been reaping its rewards for the 54 driver in that Mercedes. Not doing too badly at all. Still trying to get that gap down. So, with 1 hour in the books, less than 30 minutes to go, and Tony Watson coming down pit road. Pit stops are just finishing off here at the Nurburgring. We are going to be heading away for one more commercial break. We are in the rundown towards the final part of this race. You will not want to go anywhere. We will have some more racing action for you in just a second. Be right back. Back live at Nurburgring, and we are less than 20 minutes to go in this race, and there's a big battle going on here for P5 in GT3 right now between Roger Shank and Rex Hoyle. A few connection problems in the background there for Adkins Middleton, but we're going to focus on this battle right now. Really kicking off between these two drivers, and there's been brewing for a number of laps now. I believe they've still got to take it down pit road, but very much a battle for that last spot in the top 5 right now. The only drivers that have not taken down pit road yet are Paul Boyle, Tyler Vickery. Contact between Boyle and Shank, and that was not what I was expecting. Actually, there was a good battle brewing, but Shank braked into the corner, and Hoyle, I'm pretty sure, wasn't expecting it and just went into the back of him. Let's take another look and see what happened here on the run down to the hairpin. And no, it was Hoyle just going for a move there, a bit too late there, just got into the side of Roger Shank there, and you gotta think Roger Shank will not be too happy about that move. As we go back to live pictures now, the gap between Shank and Hoyle is 2.9 seconds. As coming up behind them is the race leader. That is Dennis Diaz, who's now got a 10.9 lead over Terry Cowger Jr. after the second round of pit stops. A bit less than it was before, as he comes out of the final turn. So Diaz on course for another race win here at this juncture. Will close the gap in on Terry Cowger Jr., but by only 1 point. So if things stay as they are right now, the gap between Diaz and Cowger will only be 13 points. If Skip stays down in P6, however, he will lose 5 points and second place to Terry Cowger Jr. and Dennis Diaz respectively. So he will be out of the championship running pretty much. He will be about it'll be quite a margin off Terry Cowger Jr. anyway. So Skip, not the night he was wanting here tonight. Down in P6 right now. We're going to go to him right there. And he's looking to have a better... You know he's going to be coming back next season a lot stronger in that JPS Porsche. He's currently hunting down Tyler Vickery though. Vickery now 20 seconds behind Paul Boyle. Has clawed some time back, as he's still yet to make his final pit stop. Keith Roycroft has just come into pit road. He's just been in pit road. He's out of pit road again now. Zachary Nurburgring is in pit road right now, and he was involved in the incident between Sean Adkins and Atticus Middleton earlier. But here we go, battles resumed right now, and Rex Hoyle, ever the gentleman, has let Roger Shank through again. I'm going to take another look and see that happen right there, and you see it. Rex Hoyle just jumping to the inside there, saying sorry for that incident right there, Roger. You can have that back, but we've still got some fighting to do before this is all said and done, and fight they will before this checkered flag comes out in about 15 minutes time. So more battling to come between these two. Hopefully we'll not have the same consequences it did before as they go through the corner where that incident happened. There is Shank and there is Hoyle, and this is your closest battle on the track right now. Very much a long running battle between Shank and Hoyle. Obviously, for those that are just joining us, had a bit of contact a couple of laps ago with Hoyle making a very late move into the hairpin and spinning out Roger Shank into the gravel. Shank did catch up once again and Hoyle let him by as Shank is opting to defend an outside line as here comes the GT3 pit stops. There is Mackenzie Johnson in pit road now as Paul Boyle opting to choose his favourite line on the exit of turn 2, so no problems there as Johnson leaves pit road and will be on his way to finish this race as Shank and Hoyle go by. Got a decent enough gap over Marcus Osborne, who's in P7 right now as he goes through the Schumacher S. Now Johnson he's got to pick this one carefully because he knows that Rex Hoyle and Roger Shank have not pitted in front of him yet, so he needs to kind of be a bit patient with these guys, let them take the pit stop and just let the pass happen naturally. He's only 3.5 seconds back as we've had an incident for Eric Lambert as there goes Cologne around the outside to put a lap on him. Cologne up to P4, he's snuck up there again and he's chasing down Tony Watson here, so Cologne well, he's not taking his pit stop yet, so that's probably why. Hasn't pit since lap 22. Dave Ferries and Oliver Vorotniak might not be safe to the end of the race. They both pit on lap 27, so Louis Cologne might be chasing down Tony Watson, but it might be in vain here. He's still got to make that one more pit stop before the end of this race as we're still waiting for the rest of the GT3 field to come down pit road as well. As we go back to the battle between Roger Shank and Rex Hoyle, this one's still going on. What's happened to Mackenzie Johnson? He was well into 10 seconds behind Shank and Hoyle now. That's Terry Calgar Jr. in front of them. The man that will have a decent lead going into next week's finale at Watkins Glen and will have one hand on the trophy after tonight if things stay as they are. Still plenty of racing left to do, and this is why Mackenzie Johnson has lost all that time to Rex Hoyle and Roger Shank. Just lost it coming through the hairpin. And that's not where you want to lose it. That's how he lost all that time too. He will get that position back, however, because he does have one pit stop over the 950 and the 54, and this battle's still going on for what will be 5th place once Mackenzie Johnson does come by after they've taken the pit stop. As Mackenzie goes off again in a big way, and pushing too hard is Mackenzie Johnson. You gotta think he is just pushing that car way too hard. Gets in the gravel, and it's on the exit of the hairpin again, where he loses the car. I think that the Lamborghini is okay, as comes through the right-hander on the run up to the chicane as Hoyle gets around Roger Shank, and that's because Roger Shank is now in pit road. So pit strategy's going on here between the Porsche and the Mercedes. So in the final 10 minutes, Roger Shank brings it down pit road. Now you've got to think, when is Rex Hoyle going to bring it down, because he will be looking for the best in lap possible if he is indeed coming in this lap. So we'll keep an eye on Rex Hoyle. And 11.1 in his box for Roger Shank, so it was a quick refill of fuel. Doesn't want too much. There's only 10 minutes of racing left, so didn't have to fill the whole tank. As here comes Rex Hoyle now, down towards the hairpin. That's Luis Cologne right behind him in P4. Still yet to make his pit stop as well. Rex Hoyle looking for the best in lap possible to see if he can get the jump on Roger Shank through the pit stops. Through the right-hander, down now towards the chicane, and looking at Luis Cologne. He's going to be looking to try and get by. Actually, is not, or is he? Yeah, he is. He's going to try and do it into the chicane. Big dive by Cologne there, just to get around. Nurburgring has had another big off there. And Rex Hoyle up to take it down pit road. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is where the battle is, as Cologne brings it in pit road as well. Now we've got to look out for Roger Shank now. Does he stay ahead of Rex Hoyle, or does he lose out to that Mercedes as he comes through the chicane? He might have got it here, because I know Hoyle is on his way out already. So this is going to be close. Hoyle not up to speed just yet. Roger Shank just coming down the start finish straight right now. It looks like Hoyle might have it here, and he does. A great jump there by Rex Hoyle, and moves his way up to P4. Will be P5 actually, because Mackenzie Johnson has gone around, and the race leader in GT3 is in pit road right now. And you've got to think that Tyler Vickery will not be too far behind either. No, Vickery goes into the wall. Big incident for Tyler Vickery. And that was going into pit road there. That is a big crash there for Tyler Vickery. That's not a normal place to be going off there. And a crash like that would make David Coulthard proud. For those that are Formula One buffs and know exactly what I'm talking about. Australia 1995, just look it up. So Vickery in pit road, but will have lost a lot of time here. He's on his way out right now. Keith Roycroft is on his way down the pit straight now, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get around him. He won't. Vickery will have taken his fast repair as well, so he will be pretty safe in P2 right now. Might have just lost it with respect to getting the win here in GT3. So Vickery out safely in P2, Roycroft in P3, Mackenzie Johnson, if he can keep it on the track, and I don't mean that as a bad thing towards Mackenzie, he's very safe in P4 right now. Rex Hoyle got that pit stop down to a T, and is now enjoying a nice 4.5 second lead over Roger Shank. And Shank will have seen that happening right there. He knows that Hoyle will have lost a bit of time, and he did. He lost almost, well over half a second there to Roger Shank, did Rex Hoyle. So maybe Roger Shank might see an opportunity to try and close the gap right there. But one gap that isn't closing right now is the one between Dennis Diaz and Terry Cowger Jr. Diaz just coming out in the final turn right there. He has about 5 minutes left of racing here at the Nurburgring, and is enjoying a 16, maybe nearly 17 second lead over Terry Cowger Jr. right now. But he won't mind because after this one he will have still a pretty sizable lead over Dennis Diaz, who will take second in the championship after tonight if things stay as they are, with Paul Skip down as far as he is, down in P6 right now. As the racing action has just finished at Las Vegas with Sim Racer's Edge, and for those that are wanting to go over it, you might want to cover your ears now, because spoiler alert, it was another VSM Racing 1-2 at that track in that series. So VSM Racing are on an absolute tear right now, so very good to hear about that. As poor Eric Lambert, he's had such a difficult night tonight. He's had another off. We're going to go back and take a look and see what happened here. And it's through turn one again. And just spins it around. Just got on the loud pedal a bit too early. Sean Adkins has had another crash here. Let's take a look and see what's happened to him. And it's through the hairpin. Spins it right in front of Dennis Diaz. Diaz able to get around. That was a bit of a Code Brown moment for the race leader. But he will be okay, as Lambert now lapped by Safe Fairies, and Fairies in a very safe fourth place now. And that's not a play on his name at all, as he took that away after Cologne made his final pit stop. Everybody is taking their pit stops now. We're into the final section of this race now. Less than 3 minutes to go. And with a lap that's almost 2 minutes in length, you've got to think Dennis Diaz, he'll be on the penultimate lap now. The popsicle sticks will be in the air for this man right now. And he's not bothered too much. He's very much cruising at this point. Very much happy to be where he is. Through the hairpin, no worries at all for that meme MW. Terry Calgar Jr., no worries for him either, as he makes his way down towards the hairpin. Eric Lambert has had another crash here through turn one again. Eric, you need to kind of be careful through there. There is your race leader at GT3. Big lead. He's enjoying a bigger lead than Dennis Diaz at the moment at the front of his category. And this will be, I believe, it will definitely be his first race win of the season. I think it'll be his first ever win in Endurance for Amateurs as well, Paul Boyle. So this will be huge for that tindered BMW driver. Definitely swiping right on that one. As Paul Skipper's had another off track, but using that runoff through turn two again. As here comes Dennis Diaz. One more lap to go. And this is it now. I might actually have 2 more laps to go. Actually, we'll take another look at that in just a second. No, he's definitely not got 1 more lap to go. Anyway, here we go. He's into the, just coming out of turn 4 now, just about to catch Oleg Vorotniak and put him a lap down. And Vorotniak has had a very quiet race. He did have that one big incident out of the final turn into the pit wall. That's what put him further back than he wanted to be. Missed a couple of weeks of racing for unknown reasons, but good to have him back on the track right now in that Sim Solutions Corvette. Terry Calgar Jr. has had an off track here. Let's take a look and see what happened here. And oh, his contact with the GT3 leader. GT3 leader's around. That's Paul Boyle in trouble. Oh wow. Now. With the race pretty much over now, Boyle might be safe there, but it was a very scary instant for him. We're going to take a look at this man, though, as he will make another big landmark here in this one. The most winningest driver in endurance for amateurs, and he's going to add to that collection here again tonight. Dennis Diaz comes out of the final turn, and he will win here at the Nurburgring. And that will be unprecedented. Definitely getting revenge for his loss at Daytona to this man who's coming home in second place here, Terry Cowger Jr. One hand on the trophy after this one here tonight, and he comes home in second place, and he will be very, very happy with this one. Just needs to stay out in front next week at Watkins Glen, and that trophy will be his. One hand on the title. Tony Watson crosses the line for third place, followed by Safe Fairies, who's just coming through the final chicane now. As Daniel Barnett just hitting the wall on at the end of his race, as there goes Fairies across in P4. Behind him, there is Cologne. I believe the winner of GT3 has crossed the line. Yeah, he has. Paul Boyle, you'll win it in GT3. So big congratulations going out to Paul Boyle. His first ever win in endurance for amateurs. And he will be very, very happy with that one. As we are losing cameras. There we go. Dennis Diaz, another dominant performance here by him. I'm just going to look at the stats here. And yeah, I was right, as Dennis Diaz burns them down at the end of this one. Another great win here for him. And very well deserved here at Nurburgring. Incidentally, picks up his 6th win of the season. Tony Watson, Paul Skip, and Terry Cowger Jr., the only other three drivers to pick up a win here. As that is it for the racing. Let's go get ready for the interviews, though, as we are going to reach out to the race winner right now, and that will be Mr. Dennis Diaz, and he'll be joining me in the booth right now. Dennis, another dominant performance here for you tonight. You can't really say that wasn't easy, because it really did not look easy. It really did look easy for you this time around.
It was okay. I'm sorry. The track is actually kind of difficult, so to stay consistent like I was the entire time was not very easy to do. But that's part of the skill set that I have, so I put it to good use today.
Yeah, and that marks your 6th win on the season. That puts you, I believe it puts you 13 points behind Terry Cowger Jr. going into the finale next week. You got to be wishing that Terry has a massive problem next week in order to get that 2nd title, right?
Actually, the drop weeks haven't been calculated yet. So, from what I know, I think I should be in the lead.
Oh, so that changes everything then. Never mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, your 6th win of the season. You've got to be feeling very confident going into Watkins Glen next week, right?
Sure. I mean, last time I wasn't really that fast. I just got lucky with Bryce having incidences and Brad as well. But I think maybe towards the middle of the race I started picking it up. So maybe that will happen again. I don't know. But we'll see. I mean, it's always fun to race with these people, and you just don't really know what's going to happen. Yeah,
no Michael McCoy this week. Obviously, you were hoping for a GTE showdown with him tonight. You're going to be hoping he comes back next week for that one?
Yeah, Michael, if you're listening, I'm waiting for you. You better get this new pedals in. I'm waiting for you. If not, season 3 is going to be the big debut. So
Yeah. I also saw Carter McCollman hanging around as well earlier tonight. So
yeah, that was another.
maybe he might make a guest appearance next week. You never know.
Yeah, I know he was there, and then like in the middle of the practice sessions, he's just like, "Oh, I can't race." I'm like, "All right, bye."
But anyway, another win for yourself. Like I said, 6 wins the other night. What are your thoughts? Like, I know you said you weren't very fast last year, and you were just biting on the luck of other drivers. But what are your thoughts about Watkins Glen? Obviously, setups have changed. Things have different things have happened since you last went there. What are you thinking next week?
Watkins should be. It's difficult to say because it's slightly faster on the straightaways because they have less aero, but it's also going to be harder in the corners because there's less aero. Watkins Glen isn't really good for overtaking. It's very difficult to do so if two people have similar pace. So as long as I can have a pure pace advantage, I should be okay. But it's easier said than done. Hopefully it works in my favor. If not, then hopefully I'm as close to the front as possible.
Absolutely. But Dennis, floor is yours. Who's responsible for bringing that meme MW to victory lane here tonight?
Friends, family watching, yay, another win. Joe Hutchings from Hartsport Racing for making the livery that is now my brand. You, Sam, sad Byron can't be here. You guys obviously broadcast amazingly all the time. Mark for hosting the league as usual. Everyone in Pony Express that has been adminning and been racing with us. It's always fun to race with them. So shout out to them as well. And everyone that's coming in for season 3. I hope it's going to be a very nice and clean season, and it's going to be a lot of battles for you to react to. So
yeah, my voice has only just recovered from last week, so I don't need to
yeah,
damage it
exactly.
again. Anyway, Dennis, congratulations on your 6th win of the season. Go ahead, get some rest, and we'll chat to you next week when we head to Watkins Glen.
Alrighty, see you later.
That was Dennis Diaz joining us from Victory Lane here at the Nurburgring. Now we are going to reach out to the man that finished 2nd, if I can grab him. And he's with me right now, Terry Cowger Jr. Terry, 2nd place on the night here tonight. Had a bit of a scare near the end there when you had a bit of a scuffle with the GT3 leader, though.
Yes. So what I was thinking, I thought when I went by him, I thought I saw him braking early, so I went to turn in like normal, and he was still there. So that was totally on me. Just a lapse there towards the end.
Yeah, and obviously another good result for you tonight, but drop weeks are coming into play for next week. From calculations, you're going to be on the back foot. I did say you might have had one hand on the trophy going into next week, but I didn't take into a fact that there was going to be drop weeks. Is that going to be a hindrance to you, knowing that comes into play next week, knowing that you came out of this one as the championship leader?
No, I'm still going to go out there and try to take out Dennis like I did last week. I think I was running pretty good at Watkins Glen, if I remember correctly, last season. So I feel pretty good about that race. I probably won't come away with the championship unless, Dennis has like a total system failure. But, we'll see what happens.
Got to be hoping someone accidentally unplugs his machine, right?
Yeah, VR crashes.
Yeah, the usual stuff. But yeah, it's Battle of the Two Floridians next week. Definitely going to be worth the watch at Watkins Glen. What are your thoughts heading into that track? You said you were fast last time we were there in season 1. You're going to be expecting the same this time around?
I am. I'm going to get started on getting ready for that track Friday night and see what happens. But yeah, I feel as good as about Watkins Glen as I did going into Daytona. So I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun when we head there next week. But before I let you go and celebrate your 2nd place and get a good rest after that one, anybody you'd like to give a shout out to, sponsors or anything like that?
You guys for doing the broadcast, friends and family that I have that have been watching and checking it out. Mark and all the guys from Pony Express, and then that guy that keeps finishing ahead of me. He helps me out a lot, but I just can't quite get to him consistently. But I'll get there.
Yeah, you will. You're very close to him this time around. So just be thankful of that one. You've made a massive improvement compared to last season. So just pat yourself on the back for that one. But Terry,
Thank you.
congratulations on the second place here tonight. Go away and get some rest, and we'll catch you next week when we head to New York.
All right, will do. Thank you.
That was Terry Cagle Jr. joining us from second place in GTE. Now, we are going to go to someone who is probably got a big smile on his face because he is a first-time winner here in Endurance for Amateurs. Paul, you had a lot of tough luck in GTE last season. You come over to GT3. You finally get that chip off your shoulder. You got that first win. Congratulations.
You have no idea how much of a relief it is to finally book my ticket into the All-Star race in a few weeks' time, and hopefully cement a strong finishing position in the overall championship as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think you were up in the top 3 coming into tonight. I think you were battling with Rex Hoyle for second place there, but this win will definitely have put you up there, especially with Rex Hoyle battling down in the latter half of the top 5. You got to be feeling a lot more confident. And, every time you bring that Tinder car out, it always gives you a lot of good luck.
Yeah, no, the M4 certainly suits my driving style. And when we hit tracks that it feels comfortable at, it's definitely my go-to. And it's paid its dividends today, for sure.
Absolutely, definitely paid off for yourself. But one more round to go. Obviously, the GT3 Championship has been sewn up with Michael McCoy taking it last week, but obviously still second place honours up for grabs. What are your thoughts heading to New York next week?
Watkins Glen is the epitome of season finales. It's the go-to track for, I'm sure, a lot of series, and it's a fan favorite and a driver favorite as well, with good reason. It's a lovely track to drive, and I'm sure a lot of us have put the time in. So hopefully it'll be a good race with some good competition and close lap times.
Absolutely, always fun when we head there, and definitely going to be a lot of action as always when we head there next week. But floor is yours, Paul. I know you're going to be happy. You've got a lot of people to thank for this race win tonight, so I'll leave it up to you.
Thanks to my teammate Paul Skip, raced me well, raced me hard, good practice today. Thanks to my dad again, who'll be watching this, I'm sure, and absolutely loving this. Thank you to Mark and Zach and the team for putting on such an amazing event, and thanks to yourself as well, commentating this week in, week out. I hope you're feeling a little bit better this week.
I had to because I'm on my own tonight, so.
Yeah, no, it's lovely to see you again, and I hope we can make this a regular feature.
Yeah, we will be back next season as well, so you won't be losing us anytime soon. But Paul, congratulations on finally getting that first win. Definitely going to be a big weight off your shoulders, and can probably go into Watkins Glen next week feeling a lot happier.
Thank you very much, Sam.
That was Paul Boyle joining us from Victory Lane in GT3. Now joining us from second place in GT3 is the man that finally overcame his computer problems and got second place here tonight, Tyler. You qualified in 11th, but came in with second place. Got to be happy with your run tonight.
Yeah, almost had some issues again. Qualifying, I should have been a little bit further up. However, yeah, the computer screen issues again, and I started to just went ahead and got rid of all kinds of graphics so I can see what can make it solid, and it stayed solid, thankfully.
Yeah, and it definitely reaped its reward here tonight. Second place on the night. You just once you got that car going, you absolutely scythed your way through the field and came home with a second place. You did have a couple of incidents though, a bit of a spin near the end there, which probably cost you the win here tonight. Is that going to put a bit of a dampener on this one?
No, because I think I know what kind of mistakes I needed to do that I could fix. I should have known already, especially with this being Nurburgring. One pet peeve of mine in GT3, especially with here at Nurburgring, is I push the nose a lot. So I should have honestly, with that whole situation happened with, and I feel bad for Mackenzie. We were having a really good battle. I was catching him, and I honestly should have taken tires, because after that first stint, the front tires were already shot, and knowing me needing those front tires to be able to make any turn, I knew it was going to be a long night. I did everything I could to try to catch up to Paul. I mean, honestly, I think we were both at the same pace, and had some other things gone my way, I think we probably could have had a closer battle at the end, but I'll still take a second.
Absolutely, and then only a third race as well, picking up a second place as well. It's got to be very pleasing. Obviously, the first two ended in retirement because of we're going to call it mechanical failure, okay?
Yeah.
But next week we head to probably one of mine and your favorite tracks. We're heading to Watkins Glen for the season finale. You got to be feeling confident going into that one. I know you're fast around there.
Yeah, I know I'm fast with a lot of the different cars. I run, especially that car, especially that track. I've been running a lot of the BMW, but knowing how specific cars work for specific tracks and the way the setups are, because one thing with me, I decided to throw in the Lamborghini for this race because I knew the Lambo would be much quicker for me, because I could be a little more aggressive in the rear with how the setups are played with traction control and everything. I know I could take advantage of the rear tires just to get them to stay as even as I possibly can with the fronts. I'm going to be trying different cars out, seeing what works, but I might end up staying with the Lambo, because both the Lambo and the BMW have been about the same. And Watkins Glen, high speed, it's pretty much high speed straights. You're going to have some sharp corners, and adding in the boot, maybe one or two tricky corners that are going to be navigating. But other than that, I mean, it's going to be almost full out. So I almost feel like that's going to be one race where I just got to keep my marks on the right spot and just have to avoid any incidents. Because, I mean, our Armco barriers can just ruin anybody's night. And that's the one main thing I'm going to have to be very, very keen on, is if there's any incidents up ahead, to be ready for them. Because otherwise, one little mistake and cars in the Armco barrier, cars going to be destroyed in 3-minute tow at least.
Absolutely, and it's I like to call the Armco barriers at Watkins Glen a poor man's cheese grater, because they'll just rip body parts off your car. But also, if you're going to run the BMW, I'm going to have to paint you a BMW as well, so that's going to be a thing. But anyway, Tyler, great run for yourself tonight. Second place on the night. Before I let you go and get a rest, anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I got some guys from New Smyrna Speedway I've been working with, helping out with some photos. Boy Tech Racing, I think they are more than likely going to give me an opportunity to run one of their cars. But Boy Tech Racing, special shout out to them. We've been trying to get some racing in, but because of a lot of the tire shortages, and then with everything here in Florida with the weather, it's been really rough we've missed the last 3 weeks of racing. So I know myself and a lot of us are looking forward to that. Top Coat, they're another guys that have been giving me the green light as well, and they've been helping me out as much as I can, and I've been supporting them as well. Full Sail, everything for the sports casting I've been doing there for Dan Patrick School of Sports Casting. My girlfriend, just because she can pick phone with me whenever I might make a mistake and crash or anything. So, and just you guys in general for getting these broadcasts going, and even helping me out from when I first started years ago.
Absolutely. Well, Tyler, congratulations on the second place one more time tonight. Go and get yourself a rest, and we'll catch you next week at Watkins Glen.
Absolutely.
So that was Tyler Vickery joining us from second place here at the Nurburgring. As sorry, just filling something in there. But that is it for us tonight. Just a look ahead. But actually, before we do that, let's take a look at your results for tonight's race. And let's go by class, shall we? So, coming home with the victory in the GTE class was Dennis Diaz. He comes home 21 seconds ahead of Terry Carragher Jr., who had that big scare at the end there, almost losing it all with a collision with Paul Boyle. Tony Watson coming home in third place. Safe Ferry's getting fourth, and Luis Colon crossing the line for P5. Paul Skip in P6. Oleg Vorotniak in P7. Eric Lambert in P8. Joe Morganti is your one of your 4 retirements here tonight. He retired with 21 laps to go. Bryce Anderson, Brad McCombs, and Tyler Langenberg, your early retirements here tonight in GTE. In GT3, you have your first race winner of his endurance parameters career. That will be Paul Boyle, finishing 7 seconds ahead of Tyler Vickery, who gets his first podium of his E4A career. Keith Roycroft crossing the line for third place with Mackenzie Johnson. A lot of problems for him tonight in P4. Rex Hoyle and Roger Shank 5th and 6th. What a battle they had near the end of the race there as well. Marcus Osborne in P7 with Sean Adkins in P8. Daniel Barnett in P9. And Dave Ferraro rounding out your top 10. Atticus Middleton in P11. Then you got Zachary Nurburgring, who had a lot of problems tonight, even going out in that first lap even before they crossed the line. Cody Atkins and Mark Dillon Jr. putting it on the hauler early. Look ahead on your schedule before we go anywhere. Coming up tomorrow night, we have more truck action with the TNT Truck Series, brought to you by USRA and presented by Tickle Zombie. They will be at the Circuit of the Americas, so road racing action in the trucks for you right there. Then on Friday night, we have the Circle B Diecast Super Speedway Series returning at Daytona. They're going to be bringing the Xfinity cars back out to play as we search for another race winner in that one and more chaos, I am sure. And then on Sunday, to round off the week, we have the Major Series returning with the American Sportsman Series and the Southern 500 at Darlington. You can catch myself and Frank Marchese in the booth for that one. But for now, that's going to do it for us here on ESPN from the Nurburgring. Great win for Dennis Diaz. It's his 6th win of the season. A great first win for Paul Boyle in GT3. But from myself, Sam Cooper Bennett, all that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will catch you live tomorrow night on ESPN with the TNT Truck Series live from the Circuit of the Americas. Have a good night.